Hello, hello. What's up, TK? All sevens in the chat. Let's go. How you doing, man? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Is it out? Tomorrow. Let's see. Kingdom Deliverance. Review. IGN. What else? Cole Carnage made a. Oh, it's just. Is it a stream? I think it's a stream. Maybe watch the IGN. Yeah, we can watch the IGN. Oh, let's see.
Back the feeling I had the first time I played Skyrim. And then some days, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 arrives on a mighty steed to sweep me off my feet at a full gallop. Armed with excellent, skill-focused melee combat and a rousing, action-packed medieval saga fit for a Hollywood blockbuster, it's one part sequel and one part coronation, bringing a lot of the original's ideas to fruition in the same way.
Just know. Is it a typo? Vault Hard FPA. Is it a channel? Oh, Moriginal Gaming. Have theirs up? Okay. Doing good. How about yourself? I'm good. I did a rare nap. You know, I can't usually nap, but after I come back from workout, sometimes when I'm so tired, when I'm, chilling out, I pass out like an old man. But that works really nice for me because if I want to nap, I can't nap. But if I just, pass out for 10 minutes, dude, it's like a fresh day, right? All my muscles are rested. It's like I wake up, like I'm really fresh. That feels so good. Autocorrect butcher. Oh yeah, I thought it could be Wolfheart. Extra life. Okay. By the way, I watched what's it called? Uh Mountain Blade. Yeah, Mountain Blade 2 gameplay yesterday a bit. Some people are streaming. I think it was sponsored. Uh it's so funny, man. It's like a medieval war, like 300 versus 300, something like that. It's huge, like lots of people just going into battle.
The Witcher 3 did for CD Projekt Red, or Greedfall did for Spiders. No game of this scope and scale is without some technical scuff, of course, and its compelling design goals are occasionally at war with themselves just as much as our hero.
Yeah, it looks like there are lots of uh yeah, lots of stuff, right? Skills, combat, lots of crafting. There's lots of stuff to do. But I'm always, I don't know, man. It always feels weird to me playing melee combat first person. That's why I played Cyberpunk as the shotgun build. There was a melee build as well. I don't know. Maybe I can't play, right? But
Compelling design goals are
I don't
occasionally
know.
at war with
It feels
themselves
so
just as
weird
much as our
to
hero
me playing
Henry is
melee.
internally. But even still, its
Feels hard.
majesty is hard to deny. This tragic tale picks up almost immediately where Kingdom Come Deliverance left off back in 2018, though I don't necessarily think you need to have played the first one to get up to speed, thanks to the main plot being relatively easy to follow, and most of the callbacks being well explained as they happen.
There are foreign armies rampaging through Bohemia. The king is in captivity, God knows where, and here we are in the middle of it all, carrying an important document.
Henry, a blacksmith's son turned unlikely warrior, is thrown into the middle of dynastic politicking and
Oh my god, dude. Why is it always the blacksmith's son? Because it's the same in Path of Exile 2 as well. If you pick the warrior, you are the blacksmith's son. I think that there's an what do you call it? Hero's journey element to it. My second Cyberpunk build was the melee. Yeah, I tried melee. Dude, I can't hit people in first person with melee. The same with Overwatch, right? There are some melee attacks in Overwatch. For example, Tracer. And, I think every character has a melee attack. I just can't do it, man.
bloodshed played out by a diverse and complex cast, including your boisterous fail son of a liege lord and some truly memorable entrances from real historical figures that I don't want to spoil.
Quiet, monk.
This guy looks like that
The star
blonde
that
guy
shines
from
brightest
Vikings.
across this expanse of countryside, though, is the city of Kuttenberg. I can't speak about this place in terms any less flattering than to say that it might be one of the wonders of the modern RPG world. I don't think I've ever walked the streets of a virtual medieval city that feels this huge, detailed, and most importantly, alive.
Yeah, I
The
think
layout
the
is
city
based
looks so
largely
good.
on the actual town that still stands today, with parts of it following the modern street grid almost exactly. It's a wonderful place to simply wander around and discover all kinds of urban adventures, from resolving a dispute between two rival sword schools to hunting down a grisly serial killer. Yes, some of the NPCs obviously share the same voice actor, and others even share the same face, including important side characters, which can be
Dude, come
particularly
on.
jarring. But it's hard to get too hung up on
You know what? I hate when people does this, right?
that in a
Why are you
which can be
nitpicking, man? I mean, who cares, man?
particularly jarring. But it's hard to get too hung up on that in a place like this. When I first arrived here, I was already more than 40 hours into my 120-hour journey, and I spent multiple in-game days gleefully shopping for the sickest duds and best armor
Yeah,
I could
the
afford.
system
And that's what arriving in a
looks
huge regional capital
so
should make
captivating.
me want to do.
You see? I knew we'd make a deal.
The quest variety is what impressed me most of all, and that extends beyond just Kuttenberg. Very rarely are you simply sent to kill some bandits or carry a package to the next town, at least without some kind of interesting twist, moment of emotional turmoil, or decision built in. There are around 100 quests in total, and having done nearly all of them, practically every single one was memorable enough that it would stand out as a highlight in a lesser RPG.
We won't tell nobody nothing. We never saw you here.
Admittedly, some were better in concept than in execution. There was one I stumbled onto completely by accident that took me deep underground and turned my sword-swinging adventure into a horror movie, but ended up being far too short for the dread to really set in. All the same, I never felt like doing side quests ever became a chore, because I knew each one would be its own little complete episode of the adventures of Henry, stuffed with quality writing and unique objectives. It's
Yeah,
a testament
this
to how
also reminds me of the
consistently
game
strong they
Thief.
were that 120 hours did not feel way too long to me.
That dungeon.
Along the way
Reminded
are
me of the
expansive,
Thief
breathtakingly
PC game.
beautiful landscapes spread out over two open world maps, both of which are chock full of meticulously researched details of late medieval Bohemian life. There isn't a ton of variety in terms of geography. It's all wooded hills and meadows for the most part, but that's what the region looks like in real life. It's
Yeah, also, you know, when I look at this, I want to live here, man. This looks so beautiful.
meadows for the most part, but that's what the region looks like in real life. It's big enough to get lost in, and the contrast between villages and open wilderness varies things up nicely enough.
Quick!
I did find it rather odd that you can't go into any of the churches though, since those would be near the top of my list if I were planning a tourist trip through 1400s Europe. If the side quests are like episodes of a TV show, the main quest is a big screen war movie that pulls out all the stops in its ambition, dialogue, and emotional range. Parts of it made me cheer, parts of it actually brought me to tears.
What the hell is going on?
Bit of a rude awakening.
And Henry's ultimate nemesis got under my skin in a way video game bad guys rarely do, making me rethink everything I'd done up to that point in what might be one of the most memorable final encounters I've ever played through. It's mature without being edgy, it drips with historical authenticity, and it has interesting questions to ask you about what it means to be a hero or a villain. It's somewhat unfortunate then that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is both a mostly linear medieval action drama and an open world sandbox, and those two concepts don't always play well together. I'm going to skirt around spoilers the best I can, but I need to give you a specific example of the worst experience I
But either
had.
research
I need to
or
tell
hold
you about the
myself accountable
Hungarian
for
camp.
time management. Yeah,
In one of the
second
late
one,
game areas, there's a military
makes more
camp
sense.
set up by
Can't let
King
it-
Sigismund, the
Drake
evil
Figuary,
conquering
yeah.
tyrant you've been opposing since the first
ah,
hour
you can,
of the first
you know,
game.
you can.
Put that
big
sticker away, right?
What do you call it?
I, of course, tried to assault it by myself the second I got there.
I tend to say monetization, not moderation. Moderation, yeah. It could be moderated. It could actually, you know, when you do that, because I have that feeling all the time. It's like there's an amazing game I want to play so much, and at the same time, you know, I need to do something, or I want to do something with the art or work or whatever. They can feed each other, right? But if one of them starts occupying more and more, then it kind of consumes the other. But yeah, it's like my criteria for it is let's say pick Path of Exile, for example, right? Right now I'm loving that game, but I just sit down on it, like I just play for an hour or something. That gives me energy, right? And then I take that energy, I bring that energy to the work, and then, you know, maybe work a couple of hours, and then go back and forth. The different activities really can feed each other. It's like sleep, right? If you cut it in the right spot, it really gives you energy. But yeah, I know how it feels when it's a really good game. You know, you just sit down and you, before you know it, it's like 8 hours passed.
And was immediately put down like a dog. Fair enough, but for the next 40 hours of adventuring, I was plotting my revenge. A fire was lit in me, motivation to become
Oh,
as
you can
much of a badass
literally
as possible.
craft your gear?
I studied with all of the best blade masters. I learned the way of the bow. I saved up for the best armor. I forged by my own hand the
Man,
very best
this would
sword
be
in
also
Bohemia.
so cool in VR.
Next time I showed
Is
up
there
at
a
that
VR
camp,
option?
things were going to be different. So, near the end, I went back to the Hungarian camp Rambo style, and I killed everyone there. Okay, not the cook or the tailor, and not Musa. Musa's cool.
I know very well what you meant.
But probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 40 armed men. This was an empowering and gleeful rush with difficult combat that tested all of my skills like never before. A real highlight of the entire journey. And these are enemy soldiers, let me remind you. I don't feel like this was an unpredictable or degenerate thing to do.
Should have yielded.
So it was a huge downer when, shortly after, I was asked to infiltrate
native
this
VR?
same
Okay.
camp as a spy.
Native
And
in a
Henry
mod?
didn't even
Probably.
so much
Yeah,
as
someone will do
mention
it
that he had completely
for sure.
desolated the place and had a bounty on his head so large that the authorities there would skip fines and prison time and just straight up execute me if I was caught.
Murder is the most heinous of crimes. You'll fry in hell for this.
This is a required story quest with no alternate path, so the ridiculous, frustrating solution I found was to sneak.
Yeah, by the way, these type of games, I really like to play these type of games with friends. You can, you can pick the choices together.
Up on the unkillable quest NPCs several times to talk to them and start the next cutscene before that same NPC spotted me and went running to call the guards.
I don't know nothing. We didn't do nothing.
It also ruined my near-perfect reputation because I guess killing invading enemy soldiers was a crime that the random peasants Sigismund is actively oppressing couldn't forgive, and everyone in every town ended up hating me.
That's right. Get out of here, you scoundrel.
But this was a major outlier in what was otherwise a hugely engrossing marathon-length playthrough. Other than that one total debacle, I truly adored almost every minute I spent with Henry and company. The tactical, skill-based sword combat is a sharp refinement of the already great system from the first game, though I felt like at higher levels the balance of pure stats to player skill skewed a little bit too much in favor of the former.
Yeah, I think you have different stances, like in Ghost of Tsushima.
Big mistake, shithead.
You could probably reach the credits without actually getting particularly good at the swordplay, which was certainly not the case in the first one. But it is cleaner, more varied, and smoother to play.
End of duel.
Archery in particular has improved a lot. There's a blacksmithing minigame now, which I found a little bit
Oh, okay,
clunky
it's
and
a minigame.
unsatisfying in practice. But it is still great after the fact to be able to use a sword I made myself in combat. And alchemy has been made way more intuitive.
Yeah, this
I
looks
also
really
really
fun.
like the improved
Actually
perk
making
system
the
where
stuff.
every level up feels like it gives you multiple choices between meaningful bonuses. In the first one, a lot of the perks honestly felt more like side grades than upgrades. There was a perk that made it so sleeping outside was more restful, but sleeping in a bed was less so. The sequel's version only has the upside and not the drawback, which is important if I'm going to spend my hard-earned skill points on something rather than just picking it as a character background at the beginning. And while there wasn't a single quest as interesting or different as the monk arc from the original, getting to level up my scholarship and unlock new quest resolutions by destroying my enemies with facts and logic was also great.
Henry here is right in some respects.
Did I mention that it runs really well on my 4070 Ti, even at 4K and very high settings? I still can't even run the first Kingdom Come Deliverance at max settings on this same machine, and that game is 7 years old at this point. So the optimization work that was done here deserves a shout. There are also plenty of bugs, but most of them are of the silly sort you screenshot to show your friends that you'd expect in an RPG with this much ambition.
It wouldn't be
Only rarely did something show up that
fun
actually
without
disrupted
them, right?
my gameplay.
Something from the first game was sword fights were stupid, hard to master. I haven't played the first one.
In
But
many
yeah, it
ways,
looks
Kingdom
really,
Come Deliverance 2
well
feels
done.
like it's picked up and run with the reactive first-person RPG torch that Bethesda left lying in the mud years ago in pursuit of a broader audience. And it has excellent melee combat, which the Elder Scrolls never came close to, even at its peak. Sometimes it's not sure if it wants to be a cinematic tale about a specific guy going on a specific adventure, or a truly dynamic open-world sandbox packed with interesting and varied side quests, and that can lead to a few immersion-shattering conflicts. But most of the time, leaning into one doesn't get in the way of the other, and you're free to go on any of its many optional adventures along the way to a thought-provoking and rousing finale for the main plot. I was delighted to get lost in its world, and it will be a long time before I forget its exceptional story. For more historical swordplay, check out our reviews of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black and Dynasty Warriors Origins.
I don't know
and
if
for
it's
everything else,
the
stick with
correct
IGN.
information, but I think it's using CryEngine.
I don't poke at it. Just calm down.
Yeah, I think it's CryEngine.
Oh, Dentist Fortuna, f***ing you, rat. Jesus.
Okay,
Delighted
what
to
did
get
they give?
Dynasty Warriors Origins.
Did they rate it?
Historical. Check out our reviews of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black.
To me, it looks like at least minimum 8 out of 10. Of course, gotta play it and see it. But from what I see, it looks like at least 8. Yeah, it looks really decent. Also, CryEngine is really good. I think it should run really well. Okay, so today I was just thinking about doing minifigures, like, you know, small scale. And then maybe do 10 minifigures. Like, the thing with drawing really small is, even if you want it, you can't go into too much detail, right? At this scale, for example, you know, I'm using a really small tablet. It's like, I could only make the hands like this, right? You can't go into muscle details and all that, maybe just indicate. But this is also a good practice. Also, this also feeds gesture drawing, because you know when you are drawing fast, it's really nice to have some sort of what do you call it, like a base character. Let's say usually when I'm doing gestures, like fast gestures, this is like the my, what do you call it, archetype as a level of detail. You know, I usually draw the hands like this, unless one of the fingers are really apart. I just do it like this. So as a general strategy, I just go like this, right? Because you know, when you have 30 seconds trying to deal with fingers, it's like not gonna happen, right? And the head is like, you know, basic my basic thing, like cylinder. I'm not actually drawing it, but cylinder inside of a sphere, and then we have the box, something like this. So my shortcut is, you know, draw a sphere, and then, you know, imagine on the paper the direction. Sometimes I draw the midline, but I just do this, right? For me, that's enough. And then, you know, neck. So from front, usually I do something like this. And again, legs. Usually going with the rhythm lines, but you know, I'm not going into more detail than this, right? And same with feet. I just do something like this, like toe and the others. I also used to do something like, as an experiment, you know, let's say you want to draw figures in a different style, right? You find a way of drawing you like, and then you study it, right? It's like you draw the chart, you know, from side, and then you make that your stereotype, and then you do like 50 gestures with this archetype, right? It doesn't matter. It can be a different character. It can be an overweight character. You know, that's a really nice practice. You know, maybe you are drawing a big guy, trying to draw that guy, draw the same pose with a skinny guy, right? Or you are drawing a male figure, trying to draw it as a female, and you know, these kind of stuff are nice little experiments. But yeah, this is like my basic approach, and then, you know, depends on what I'm gonna do. It's like it can be, you know, if it's gonna be realistic, you can, you know, just keep adding details, because it all starts at the same place, right? It all starts with the simple forms. I mean, if you look at it, this can go really stylized, right? Some weird stuff, or it can go realistic. Yeah, so when you're drawing small, it's like, you know, it's almost automatic, right? You can't even put so much detail, so it kind of happens by itself. For example, the hair, right? At this scale, like if you are drawing like this, at this scale you can't even add, I mean, yeah, maybe you can do like this, but you can't not think about the hair as one piece, right? So it's a really nice practice. And you know, same with shading, right? At this scale you know, the general approach to shading is like, if I'm gonna shade this leg, first I'm thinking about the basic shape of the leg, right? So if I think about this as a cylinder or a stretched sphere, and light is, let's say light is coming like this, I just think about the core shadow, right? And then this part will be in shadow, and this knee as a box maybe, and then we put this part in shadow, right? Not going into too much small surface changes and all that. And same with shading, right? At this scale, when I look at it, I'm just you know, okay, this is the core shadow, and this is shadow, this is light, right? And this is also a nice way to practice speed shading and practice visualizing the human forms, human body with simple forms, right? Like cylinder, sphere, cylinder, box, maybe this is cylinder, box, sphere, cylinder, or box. Yeah, cylinder. What else? Another one is when you're drawing really small, because I do that all the time, right? I go in, I start with a head, something like this, and then I zoom out, I keep drawing, and then I need more space, I keep zooming out. This is usually how I go, but I just keep the drawing really small, right? So if you think about an imaginary canvas, like this is my area, right? If I'm gonna keep it here, it's like your mind kind of what do you call it? Like synthesizes the whole better, right? So yeah, if you guys are getting stuck on details, because you know it's like it's a really common thing. We always start with I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it simple, and you know, you draw something, and you know suddenly we are trying to draw with a nail or something. It doesn't go away, right? Even the professionals does it. So yeah, at this scale, it's like impossible, right? You can't even see the nails or small details. So it's a really nice way to, you know, condition ourselves and train ourselves, or establish the habit of thinking about the figure as a whole and simple forms, right? Because if you can't think about it as simple forms, it's the rest is really easy, right? So yeah, I just had a thought, maybe like, I don't know, do 10 of these, right? And then maybe shade them. It's very simple shading. I should definitely implement this too. Tend to overwork my gestures, something I'm aware of and trying to fix. Yeah, the only downside is when you're drawing small, it's kind of hard to do rhythm lines, right? Because when you're drawing big, you are drawing from your shoulder. Like you can do better rhythm lines, and you know, you can move more freely on the paper. It's kind of harder when you are drawing small, because I mean, when you are drawing small, you are more like drawing with your fingers, right? Instead of from your shoulder. So it's kind of I mean, if you get used to it, you can do it, but it's kind of harder to establish the rhythm lines, but still you can do it. It's just a bit harder, but yeah, this is a really nice practice. I feel like you are talking directly at me. No, this is you know the saying, more personal it is, more universal it is. This is like really universal, right? And I've heard this uh, from lots of different artists. Hey, Felipe Cortez, how you doing? Oh, you are the Joe. Okay, okay. What's up, Joe? Those small thumbnails. What you want me to focus on? Less about details. Yeah, if you want, you can do this. By the way, the last post you made, it was really good. The forms and the structure is really good. What you can do to make it much better, make it much more lively, is do some gestures, right? Focus on the gesture stage a bit. Maybe you can exaggerate, or let's say there's a figure like this, right? Maybe doing something like this. I don't know, maybe something like this. You have the forms and all the structure down already. It looks really solid. You have the perspective down really well. So when I look at it, how I'm thinking is like, what can you do to make it much more better, right? What can you do to level it up? So it can be like, if it would have more dynamic rhythm lines, like as opposed to this one. I'm just making it up, by the way. It can be like, more exaggerated rhythm lines. So it feels more lively, right? Excuse me. There's more rhythm in the forms and the relationships between the forms. And it can really take your drawings to another level, right? So yeah, you can work on that. But yeah, the structure, perspective, forms, it's really well done, man. Good job. But yeah, you can also do this as well. The drawing small really helps. Welcome to the party. Yeah, Joe took my course and he's really doing well. As opposed to first drawings he posted, he's really improving. And yeah, I hope it really helps. From what I see, it's like helping. And that's really nice to see, right? When you do something and it really helps people. Okay, so maybe I'll start with 60 seconds and then maybe gradually speed up. But yeah, I'll probably forget at some point, but I'll try to do small figures today. Thanks. Also, I've noticed my poses look more 3D now. Yeah, it's really good, right? They have depth, and you also have the perspective really nice. The forms are there. It's really nice. I'll focus on making them more dynamic, since they kind of look like stickers on a page, another part of the whole piece. Yeah, I mean, they don't look bad, but I'm thinking about, you know, how can we make it better, right? How can we improve? Even if it's good, there's always room to improve, right? But yeah, don't take it as something is wrong with them. They look really nice. But more dynamism really will take those to another level. Also, if you are working on digital, usually what I do is I really zoom in, right? I can see the pixels. This is also a really nice method. Like, it almost feels like the teeth of the paper, right? Because when you're drawing big, it's like there are lots of resolution. And it kind of, I don't know if it's me or if it's something universal. It's like kind of forces me to be more precise. But when you're drawing small, it's like it's pixels, right? You don't really care. So generally, it's you know, easier to at least do some layouts. All right, got my water. We are ready to go. Work on gesture later today, post it. Yep, nice. Should I stick with 60 seconds or will less time help me more? I would say whatever time limit is comfortable for you. Start with what's comfortable for you, and if you feel, as you feel more and more comfortable, you can, you know, as a challenge, lower the time limit. You can, you know, challenge yourself and try to do it faster. Totally borrow that from you in the past. Works really well with my existing process, which is like finding the form in a cloud. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, even I told myself I'm gonna do 60-second gestures. You can see when you are drawing small, it doesn't even take 60 seconds, right? If you just nail down the rhythm lines, it's done in 30 to 45 seconds. And it's like no stress, right? Don't worry about the forms. This stage is all about expression. It's like, come up with different weird shapes. Also, since you know, when you're drawing small, since you have more time, and you have a, you know, we usually all the time during all through the drawing, we are kind of seeing the whole all the time. It's like, you know, you can come up with different designs for shapes. So yep, I think gradually I'm getting bigger and bigger. The habits kick in. So when you catch yourself doing that, just skip one of the gestures, catch your breath. That's why I struggle with 15 seconds so much. Damn, all the eyes couldn't keep up. But, excuse me, 15 seconds is really tough, right? I don't think you can actually do something like this in 15 seconds. I think at best it could be some good rhythm lines resembling a figure, right? Like some abstract rhythm lines. I also realized I missed doing this so much because usually when I'm in the studio, or you know, when you're comfortable at your home or studio, you have your paper, you are on your desk, right? I used to do this either, you know, when I'm traveling or when I'm waiting somewhere and you don't have much space, or you have a small notebook with you, and you know, you do some little small sketches. Another nice thing I do all the time is, for example, see the legs. I'm just gonna erase it to show it. So legs are like this, right? She's sitting like this. So anytime I see the legs or arms or any part of the body together, I just group them, right? So if I'm gonna draw this part, I just do this, right? At this stage, I don't even think about there are two legs, right? I'm just drawing a one leg, like a mermaid. And then maybe you can go like this and draw the other leg. And this is a really effective and nice and economic method. You know, in painting also we group the shadows, right? If there's lots of different objects, and this, if these are all in shadow, we just make it one tone. We are just grouping, and you know, it's at the same time economic and usually looks nice, right? And you know, it's the same concept applied to grouping stuff, right? Usually, did I do it anywhere else? I think that's the first example here. Yeah, usually when I see something like this, I just think about this as this shape, right? This is just a shape like this. Also, small tricks like this. You know, instead of thinking about two legs, you just draw one leg, right? That's a huge what do you call it? Huge save, right? You save a lot of time doing that. So yeah, stuff like this, you can use it on timed gestures. But yeah, the most important thing is, I mean, as a challenge, you know, we do it from time to time. As a challenge, it's nice to, you know, mess around, have fun. But it should be always I think what I'm trying to say is you shouldn't be panicking, right? So anytime I find myself panicking or falling behind, I just, you know, increase the time limit. If I'm drawing 60 seconds, I just, you know, find an excuse for myself. Okay, maybe today I'm a bit slow, right? I just, you know, instead of 60 seconds, I just go with, I don't know, 90 seconds. But I think over 2 minutes, right? It's like after 2 minutes you start. After 2 minutes, it's not a gesture anymore, right? It's like you start drawing the figure. I mean, unless you know you are practicing forms or something like that, unless you are doing a specific practice. So yeah, also on this pose, so she's sitting like this. These are the legs. She's sitting like this. You know, we can just shortcut this, right? Just do this. And then it's done. Also, another thing, I don't know what it is, the concepts. I think I wasn't drawing for a long time, so we started the challenge. The concepts I always thought about coming to my mind, they keep coming back. You don't need to drop fast to create nice rhythm lines, right? You can still be slow, and you know, depending on your preference, if you want to go with straight lines or hard edges or even curves, right? It doesn't have to be fast to, you know, be expressive. So yeah, another nice thing about drawing small, it's like, since we have a lot of economy, you know, the distance that the pencil travels, it's really small, so you know, we don't have to be fast. You can do a really small 30-second gesture, and you can nail down everything you want to do. Alright, so how many? I don't even want to count, but yeah, at this point I feel like I need to step away for a second. But yeah, I mean, you know, easy. Not too much time commitment. So yeah, I'll get a drink, and you know, we can either continue doing these or refine some of them. Maybe put some thorns or whatever. So yeah, be right back, guys. Alright, we are back. Okay, now I put on my art director hat, and then this can be something. Maybe this can go somewhere. This can go somewhere. I don't know about this. Maybe. One. Maybe this one. What else? Maybe this one. Well, yeah, just pick the ones you like. I don't know about this one, but maybe this could be a perspective challenge. Do you pull the reference back up for iteration phase? Yes. But now I kind of lost all of them. Usually when I'm using that slideshow app, you know, it always changes. While I'm drawing, I take a screenshot because it's really hard for me to, you know, just go in, find the exact image in, how many was it? 20,000 images. I just take a screenshot, you know, temporarily open it up. But now maybe I can roll back. Usually when you left click, it rolls back, and right click, it rolls forward. But sometimes I don't know how I don't know what's going on, if it's intended or a bug. Sometimes you go back and go forward, the order changes, right? It starts randomizing again. Mouse wheel, yeah, mouse wheel works as well. So let's see if I can find. That could be a challenge as well, right? You just do these with the reference, and then you try to finish it on your own, right? You know, bring that anatomy knowledge, bring that memory. So do I have this one? Let's see. Okay, I got 1, 2. And run. Yes, and run. Okay. Yeah, I think I got most of them. But yeah, the ones I don't have, I just, you know, fill in the blanks by myself. That's also really nice practice. Do I have this one? Yeah, that Windows sound is coming from me, by the way. It's not you guys. I'm taking a screenshot. Do I have this one? Oh yeah. This one? Oh, nice. I pretty much got all of them. Okay. Taking too long to get my order. I'm going to only have 15 to 20 minutes for lunch. Ordering food? You mean DoorDash taking too long, or the session? Trying to be shark today. Angry shark, yeah. Oh man. Now I'm hungry. You had to talk about food, didn't you? Let's see. Which one is this? Take out gyros. Monday's special is 2 gyros after lunch. Can't promise shark. Probably more slot. Yeah, I mean, I have that. I mean, I started having that so much like last couple of months. After I eat, I just need to do nothing, man. I'm like, you know, lazy animal mode. Just, you know, I just lay down. I'm not even watching something, right? I'm just standing, laying down like a vegetable. But it's really nice if you do that, because, you know, the word is escaping me. What do you call it? What system is that? The digestion system, right? Digestion system is one of the systems of the body that spends a lot of energy to digest, right? If you just stop any activity you do, at least for 5-10 minutes, I think it really improves your energy on, you know, next couple of hours. But if I eat and I keep, you know, doing life, the daily activities, it kind of, you know, pulls you down. You start being tired. But if you just let your body digest just for 10 minutes, and then it's much better. I was so angry now. Yeah, it's okay, man. I'm just messing with you. What are you having? I'm guessing a nice badass steak. I don't know, or pasta with chicken salad. Hello, Mo. How you doing, man? Of all the ones I took, I think I don't have this one. Okay, I'm just gonna make this up. Yo, what's up, what's up? How you doing, Mo? Missed this voice. Yeah, we are back, and we are doing Figuary, blasting some figures. How you doing, man? I hope it's all good. I hope all is well. So this is the gesture, right? I mean, I'm not talking about, you know, traditional figure drawing or trying to improve forms or that. But for this one, I'm just gonna play with shapes and forms and exaggerate, maybe have some fun, you know, approach it really light-hearted. You know, there's the shoulder. Just make it a shape like this, right? Then we have arm like this. Normally, no arm, no forearm looks like this, but you know, we are exaggerating. Maybe she really has a sphere face, right? Something like this. Instantly turns to anime, right? Doing alright. I think I'm ready to draw again after a whole month. Same, man, same. Art block? Dude, come on. Come on, don't give me that bullshit. You know there is no such thing as art block. You don't get or let's put it this way. You don't wait for inspiration or whatever it is that makes you draw to show up, right? You show up. You start doing stuff, and then inspiration is the reward, right? Your muse shows up if you show up. You don't get to get inspiration without doing anything. But the drawings didn't hit the same, and fun was gone a bit. Yeah, that's kind of part of it, right? I mean, honestly, am I enjoying drawing all the time? Not really, right? I mean, generally, I love what I'm doing. But there are times, maybe you have some other problems, maybe health problems, maybe you are tired or whatever, or life problems. And to be really honest with you, I'm not always inspired. Actually, from all the times, like 10% of the time I'm inspired, right? 90% of the time I'm just putting in the work. But that's how it goes, right? But some days it's like if I'm doing a 6-hour session, some days I'm 5 hours inspired. I'm flowing, right? Some days it's just 30 minutes or 10 minutes. That's how it goes, man. I would say don't worry about it, right? If you just keep putting in the work, if you just be bold every day, challenge yourself as much as you can, and put in the work, pay your dues, and you will be rewarded beyond imagination, right? The art gods and muses will reward you so handsomely. So this lady is doing some weird gestures. I don't know what she's doing, but probably she doesn't know as well. Because if you look at this expression, I always try again the next day. Yep, exactly. I'll stop worrying. Yet the days just go by, and I want to draw, but exactly what I don't know. What I don't know. Then like that, day after day. It's all good, man. The most important thing is, don't think about it too much. You are all good. I'm all good. You are all good. We are all good. There was this saying, I think it was a writer, talking about establishing the habit of reading or writing, right? I mean, for me, I wasn't really a reader kid. I didn't, I didn't hate to read. I also didn't love it. But yeah, earlier in my life, I heard that it's like, I think it was one of the famous writers. He was saying like, start reading by what you really like, right? It's like it might be a book of a movie you watched, or maybe Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, whatever it is. Start reading what you like, right? And it's the same with drawing. And as you focus on the stuff you like or love, that way you establish the habits, right? And really, some days you are not gonna feel like it. I don't feel like it every day, but I find that passion, right? Maybe it's a video game character, right? That day maybe I play, I don't know, Doom or something else. I just draw that, or maybe I see a beautiful lady outside, right? I draw that, or maybe I just start with someone I like, right? Maybe draw your best friend, or I don't know. You can find if you just think about it, you can find lots of stuff, right? And some days it's like some days you are really out of juice, right? Maybe you need some inspiration. Maybe watch some TV shows, right? Read some comics, and then it will get you inspiration. But yeah, the constant is you just do it. Also, again, I'm not saying this, you know. I also telling these to myself as well. It's like when I'm drawing something, it's not my place to judge it, right? While I'm drawing, of course, you are judging it, right? You know, you are judging in terms of you know, measurements and all that, but not judging it as a viewer. But yeah, man, I mean, you got the talent, you got the vibe, you have nothing to worry about. Been reading couple, Avengers, Ultimate Spider-Man new one. Which new one? The 24 one, as year 2024 one, or is there another new one? Some comic about European football with a twist? Oh, that sounds nice. The one where it's old? Oh, okay, I haven't read that. I love the art style of that man, he's so good. Which one? Who's the artist? Don't know his name? It's okay. It's all good. Did the art for a new Daredevil? Oh yeah, by the way, is there a new Daredevil season? I think I've seen somewhere. It's either out or it's coming. Born Again coming soon. Nice. I think I really, yeah. I think it was my. So if I would rate, I think Punisher, the TV show, Daredevil, the TV show. I really like those. I don't know which one is higher in my universe. I really like the Punisher as well. It was so intense, man. That guy, I forgot the name, that actor. I think that's the best Punisher. It can be. That's a new movie? Really? Also a new movie? Are you caught up with the MCU? No, not really. I haven't been looking. There are lots of different TV shows. There was, what was that? Fist guy, Fist guy. The guy with the Iron Fist. I think there is a TV show about him. And then what else? Yeah, I haven't watched most of them. I've seen the DC one. Last day, the what is it called? Doom Patrol. That looks funny. Personally, I like the work done by David Nakayama. Let's see. David Nakayama. Oh yeah, I've probably seen his work. I'm really bad with names, but yeah, he's really good. Captain Marvel, Daredevil. Wolverine, yeah, Wolverine drawings really look nice. My favorite comic book artists are Dan Mora, Joe Mad. Dude, I'm really bad with names. What else? The guy who drew Champions. What was it? Ramos, Otto Schmidt. What else? Yeah, I'm really bad with names, but I have a huge folder of people I like, and I study them all the time. Old one, Disney ones. Yeah, I think I haven't seen any until like 2 years ago. If it's 2 years old, I probably haven't seen it. He does a lot of variant covers. So probably seen. Yeah, probably I've seen covers. As often as this comes up, we should probably just write these down for future. Yeah, dude. That's really nice that you that you made me remember. Can someone write it down on Discord? The name, what was it? Nakayama. So we can check it out later. Or if you have some links, I would appreciate if you link on Discord. Seen his art before. David Date guy looks incredible. Yeah. Maybe make a pinned post. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like we can just add to awesomeness. I mean that I think there should be an option that you make a channel in Discord, like it becomes like Instagram, right? You can see all the posts and you can upvote the posts, and the posts which are most upvoted goes on to top. I don't know, maybe it's on Turbo, Discord Turbo, I don't know. This is what I've been talking about. Marco Cecchetto. You got any links? Also, dude, there's so many there's so many awesome artists. I can't even keep track anymore. Like it's like every single day. Like lots of amazing artists are just spawning onto the internet. Yeah, honestly, this feels like this sounds like boomer talk, but I can't even keep track of anything else anymore. Life is too fast. All right, 2 more. You guys wanna pick one? If you want, you can pick one that you want me to, no, draw. Do something about it. Where's it? But yeah, it's hard to tell. I will number them. And 11. You're sitting on top right. Okay, we have a 9. Top far right. The one with the blade. Blade? Okay, now you can type the number. Blade, you mean this one? Or this one? Nine, 12. Okay, we got 2 9. 9 is going in. And the other one. So 12. Nope, not this one. Where is you? Okay. I like cereals, just throwing numbers. Yeah. I'm just outsourcing it to you guys, so I don't think about which one to pick. And also, it can be helpful, right? Maybe you look at one of these and you think about how you can take this further. It can be an, practice instance. Okay, do I have the image? Let's see. I don't have this one. Oh, I thought I got all of them. Okay, I'm gonna make this up as well. No reference. For example, I really like the pose of 6. 6, yeah. Yeah, me too. Also, usually it's ideal to not pick favorites, but you know, in your archive, you guys probably have, you know, reference archive as well. There are probably some models you like more, right? This is a lady I like to draw a lot. I probably can't show it on stream, but I'll post it on Discord later. It's one of the ArtStation packs. Yeah, it's a skinny lady, real nice lady. I have all of her reference packs. Partly because I'm like, what the hell got her attention? What's she looking at? What's she cooking, right? Yeah. And then there's one model I wouldn't say like I like the best, but for whatever reason, every drawing I do, if ever, is a banger. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of our thing, right? We are like, artists are like magicians, right? You can look at something ugly, or at least you find ugly, let's say, and you can make it beautiful. That's the magic. Also, I keep repeating it, but it's really, really nice. You know, since we are drawing small, I mean, it's not small in the screen, but the resolution is low. I don't have much resolution to go into detail. That limitation kind of forces you into, you know, making some inventions on, you know, how can I express what this hand is doing, right? But you can't draw too many lines. If I try to add another finger like this, it would be too clustered. Maybe it will lose that simplicity. So making, you know, it's like you are making some inventions on design. Especially, you know, if your the day job is something about design, or if you are designing characters or something like that. This kind of practice is, it really feeds the, you know, it develops your design muscles, right? It's almost like, you know, you are you have a limited budget, right? And you are choosing which line to invite to the drawing, right? So for example, this could go like so many places, but just to give that a little bit, you know, that wrist band, usually hand comes something like this. This is the hand, this is the wrist. You know, there's skin kind of wrinkles like this. If you know, extend your hand, it looks like this. You know, although this is a really if you think about level of resolution, we are going with simple forms, but I'm just adding this line, just one line, to exaggerate that. And by exaggerate that, I mean this is connected to lots of other stuff, right? This this kind of what do you call it? Accentuates the force she's applying, the posture of the body, and the breaking of the rhythm. So yeah, you I mean, ideally, not ideally, but potentially it could be lots of different things you could pick. But at the same time, you know, there's no one right way to go. But for this one, you know, I just picked that. And also, these are all the subjective stuff, right? Most of the time, personal stuff. It's like we could all look at the same model and see different things. Again, just to, you know, exaggerate that band of the torso, you can just, you know, add one wrinkle here, right? So this arm still feels a bit short, but I think she was sitting, like, she's not fully sitting on this thing, but yeah, you might also ask, like, what are you talking about? This is a stylized drawing, right? But even in stylized drawings, this stuff really adds to the vibe. Not being too, you know, too realistic about it. But even, you know, if you look at Disney animations, dude, I mean, I remember seeing okay, I'm gonna show you guys something so incredible. I probably can't find the example, but I'm trying to remember the name of the muscle. Let's say neck anatomy. Okay, so I remember I was watching Frozen. I think it was Frozen 2 or was it Frozen? It was either Frozen or Big Hero 6, right? One of those Disney movies. And, you know, the Disney characters, they are like, you know, plastic cartoon characters. But I remember seeing, you know, when you are speaking or when you make certain expressions with your face, you can see this muscle. I don't remember the name, but you can see this muscle popping out. Like if you just put a lot of stress to your neck, or if you stretch your jaw, does it go stretch? I mean, if you just open your jaw and stretch your face muscles, you can just pop this up. I remember seeing this on a Disney movie, right? Disney animation. So they look simple, but dude, those guys are not joking around, right? They have really amazing anatomy knowledge, and most people don't see it because we can see it because we pay attention as artists. But all this stuff adds to the total vibe, right? So that's what I'm trying to do most of the time, even if it's a stylized drawing. You can add a lot of small stuff that when a trained eye, when an educated eye looks at it, they will appreciate, oh, they added this or they added that. And when your normal viewer audience looks at it, probably they won't notice it, but unconsciously it will feed that realism, right? Not realism in terms of realism, but it's even if it's side-eyed, it will become more lifelike. No, not lifelike, but I don't know the word, but hopefully you get what I'm talking about. Believability, yes, dude, thank you. Yeah, instead of realism, the believability. So it's for example, if it's an animation you are doing, keeps that sustained non-belief. So usually what I like to do is, if a part of the body is applying a force, that means if the muscles are contracted, I usually tend to draw those muscles with more hard edges, right? Other than the hard parts of the body. For example, this arm is applying a force because she's kind of resting on his arm. For me, it makes sense to have these sharp edges because her arm muscles are in action, right? They are activated, but for these ones, you can just make them more softer. Again, this is not the one way or the correct way of doing it, but I usually go like this. Kind of adds a nice, really subtle vibe to it, subtle effect. And same here. Again, this leg is not really applying force, but if you is this flex or extend? Flex is like this, extend. If you flex your feet like this, the calves usually pop up, right? Pop out. So it can be more, popped. Again, this leg is like, again, they are not applying too much force because she is mainly sitting on her butt and using her arm. But legs, they can be, this can be kind of sharp. Again, this is very subjective. This is, it comes down to how you want to express. You can even go really sharp. But this is just one way of thinking about it, right? And yeah, I mean, I think these kind of stuff are more, at least for me, more enjoyable and more important than making a realistic drawing, right? And you know, if I look at it and it feels too sharp, if the edge is too sharp, instead of doing really sharp edges, you know, instead of doing this, sometimes I just do it like this, right? It's not a 100% sharp line. It's like a curved straight, right? Something like this. And if you push it too far, it becomes a curve. But yeah, I'm talking about this stuff to explain, but usually, you know, you don't really think about these stuff really consciously, really, right? You practice these, and these come up almost intuitively when you are drawing something. Yeah, and then, you know, it's completely up to you to how much detail you want to add, how far you want to take it. I mean, potentially you can just make this realistic, right? You could just, you know, make this bigger, open up the reference, and, you know, just keep refining, adding more definition. Yeah, at that point it's a, you know, personal reference. But yeah, you know, art is about telling a story, right? If you think about it as telling a story, you don't really, you know, if you tell a story to your friend or whatever, you don't really explain every single detail, right? You just, you know, maybe you saw something amazing, you just go to your friend like, yo dude, I see the I see the most amazing stuff today, right? You go like that, you exaggerate, and you explain the most, you explain the stuff that, you know, maybe most influenced you, or yeah, I mean, if you think about it as telling a story, even in a simple figure drawing like this, right? It's like, what do you want to tell about this figure, right? Or the pose, or, you know, you can approach it as, I don't know, not expressing this specific figure. Maybe you want to express something about human nature or whatever, right? Whatever story you are trying to tell. Again, it also might not be a conscious thing that you want to tell, right? It's not like you're actually telling a story, but maybe it's a feeling you want to, you know, what do you call it? Express. So yeah, at the end of the day, these are all tools that you can use for the actual purpose of why we are doing what we are doing, right? If you think about the actual reason, why am I drawing this figure? To express this feeling, right? Or this this vibe, or whatever it is. And then you use all these design tools, you know, curves, C curves, S curves, straights, shapes, shape language, and then connection between the different parts, shading, all that, grouping, all the different concepts. They all serve your purpose of doing the thing. So yeah, enough yapping. Let me shade this. And I wouldn't call this shading, but in some tone. What? What's going on? Oh my god, dude, some weird window opened on my second monitor. There's this microphone icon. What's going on, man? Come on, Windows. Don't troll me. When rendering, is it better to start with grays or start with the base colors? I think if you are not used to it, grays, starting with grayscale is a really good idea. I mean, I'm not really the rendering guy, but I usually, if it's a piece I really want it to be well done, I keep it safe. I start with grayscale, start with tones, because tones are really different, right? When you're looking at colors, you are your brain is trying to understand two things at once. The tone, it's like the value, right? Lightness, darkness, this one here, and saturation and hue, right? It's like trying to understand three things at once. But if you start with grayscale tones, you are just dealing with one variable, right? So it's much easier. And then you can, you can overlay some colors. And as you do it more and more, you get more comfortable, and then you can just start with colors. Usually what I do is, if I'm not comfortable with the colors I'm gonna use, I just keep it safe and start with grayscale, right? But if it's a color palette that I'm comfortable with, if I'm comfortable with, I will just go right into it. But yeah, it's usually a really good idea to start with grayscale. And even if I start with only, if I start right away with colors, I constantly put a, what is it called? Maybe hue saturation, this one. Constantly looking at the painting if it's working when it's grayscale, right? Especially if you're digital, yeah. Wizardry of layer modes, yeah, exactly. I think you are working digital, right, Joe? I might be wrong, but the drawings you posted looked like they were done on tablets. Yes, nice. Yeah, so it's much easier. You can just start with grayscale and then put a color layer on it. So again, even in shading, I'm not even going into detail, but there's this idea from Bridgman. The arm is like, we have this box for the upper arm, and then we have this part as the lower arm. But I'm just using that simple concept to put in some shading, right? I'm not even thinking about the muscles or all the details, or the bones. Okay, did I mess this up? Let's see. Multiply. Okay, we are good. Okie dokie. Another one. So maybe. But if I did something like this. Blue. Nope. Yeah, not naming layers. Fun times. Well, what's this? There's this. Okay, this is this one. And alright, I'll step away for a moment again, get some drinks maybe, snacks, stretch, and be right back, guys. Okie dokie, we are back. And let's do one more. Do I have the reference for this one? Okay, so something else came to my mind. Another awesome tool to use is continuity. Continuity. I hope I typed that right. Continuity, I guess. Yeah. It's like, for example, you know, this line. It's continuity. These are matching lines. And then you can match this with this. This could be, you know, more curved. And then what else? You know, these angles, straight angles, kind of match. You can match this with this one. So whenever you see these kind of connections in the body, just go for it, right? They always add to the total unity of the image. And now, you know, you can find these stuff, the rhythm lines, right? If they match, it really adds, right? This can go like this. And then what else? But this kind of goes like this. So this stuff all over the image, like they all add to the, you know, end result, right? It doesn't have, not everything have to match. There's not a rule like that. Again, this is like a personal choice where you use the tool or not. But yeah, when you study this stuff, like, you know, finding connections, the rhythm lines and all that, I think that's all the gesture drawing is about, right? Developing these stuff, developing this intuition about, you know, rhythm and flow and the balance of the body, the pose. Yeah, it all adds up, and at the end, the drawing looks more harmonious. And then, after you get comfortable with it, you can try to break those rules, right? Instead of matching them, maybe you can, I don't know, instead of matching two lines, maybe you can just break it a bit, right? Instead of doing two parallel lines, you can do this. But yeah, you know, it should be intentional, right? Not like it shouldn't look like an accident, but it should be clear that it's intentional, right? If you look at this forearm, this is nowhere close to a forearm, right? No forearm looks like this, or the hand. But, you know, grouping shapes in different ways, you're kind of trying to express what you want to express in different ways, right? It's interesting how our eyes and brain find those interactions intuitively. Yeah. And subconsciously pleasing. It takes mindful effort to actually create them. Yeah, it's like, studying them slowly. And then when you are actually performing, and usually, I mean, most of it comes up in the gesture stage, right? That's why I love the gesture stage. It's like the stage of expression. Brains are funny things. Yeah, totally, man. All right, we got 3. Again, there are some gestures here I want to work on. Yeah, you see TK, it already starts happening, right? It always falls down to the other day, and it goes like that. But yeah, I guess this does it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. By the way, if you guys want to see a specific way or method, for example, realistic, more stylized, you know, whatever it is, let me know. Post on Discord. You know, is to best of my capacity. I could try to do something. Maybe we can one day we can do, you know, the actual academic realistic figure drawing. Loved it. I'll post my stuff later if I can. Nice. Yeah, remember to post your awesome drawings, guys. So yeah, tomorrow we keep going, we blast, do some figures, get better. So yep, thanks a lot guys for hanging out with me, appreciated it. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, stay awesome.